Well, if you think about, the tools that are at everyone's disposal, um, there's a ton of sources, whether it's YouTube to be able to self-educate. Um, there's various online courses. I think what has a lot of appeal, and I use it all the time now, is these utilities, AI utilities, for example, Chat GPT or Copilot. We do a lot with Copilot as well, on the dev side. But with Chat GPT, that is becoming more and more indispensable. So an individual could not know anything about a topic, and then with just interacting with these AI tools, they can then self-educate themselves. And then now, so I think the other big challenge in the industry is industry specific, call LLMs, or combining with RAG, so that you have focused content on that subject matter or that industry or that profession or that job position. And so now you could just say, okay, well, I'm interested in learning about chemical engineering, about this process, or I'm getting into sales in this industry. What are some sales techniques based upon the products and the nature of the industry? I can interact with, for example, a Chat GPT to be able to provide this custom information, and it's just going to get better. I think this past week, OpenAI, demonstrated new capabilities to where, and I think even Google has done this with Gemini, where, okay, it's going to just watch what is on your screen if it's an application and help guide you through how to use it. Okay, that's real, and it's just going to get better. So the AI tools from a learning perspective, I think, are really starting to come into their own. And it really first started with the market of Chat GPT, which is call it the chat interface to OpenAI's system. So to me, I think that's where I would start. If I were new coming into the industry, use that tool. It's a personal digital assistant, and it's becoming more and more indispensable, I think.
Sure, thank you for that, David. And CJ, I'm going to open on that up to you from the e-commerce point of view. How do you think we need to be embracing this technology to push the industry even further forward?
Yeah, I think that some of the ways that we're starting to leverage Copilot and a Chat GPT are in a few areas. I think one simple one is having Chat GPT to write your blogs for you and link the products that you sell into that blog. So I think not everybody, but a lot of distributors do not have a full-time person writing a blog for them. And so that's an easy way. You can have it do that for you. It'll do all the metadata and SEO optimization for you. You don't have to know anything about how to do that. To David's point, this is an assistant that's there to assist you with those things. Where the market's really going now and what we've just begun to add is Copilot that can do things like, for example, you can have it tell you what are our top 10 products that we sold last month. Okay, find me the top 50 ancillary products that go with those, create a 5% off promotion, and go build me a web page highlighting that promotion. And it will literally go do that for you. And so I think when you're looking at somebody who's maybe hesitant to get into the industry or needs some upskilling, I think what's really cool is you don't really even have to become an expert with navigating an e-commerce platform if you can get familiar with how to use the AI tool. It will do so much for you. It will empower you. And then the last piece, I think one easy external application that everybody could use is something like an AI-driven chatbot that's on your website. Something where like your customers can go find the correct welding gas mixture or troubleshoot tips for their equipment. And sometimes that AI can give them more information than potentially a sales rep could. And that's something they can use 24/7. They can self-serve on their own basis. So those are, I think, few of the ways we see the market shifting that we've begun to adopt.
Thank you for that, CJ. And Roy, to complete this round robin, I guess this is a very broad
Yep.
question for you in the whole new energy or IG side of thing, but the technology and learning paths which you think should be explored.
I came, as you mentioned when you read my bio, I came from a university background into industry. My first job involved overalls, Wellington boots, a hard hat, and buckets. and I was sent out to take samples. That and the experiences that followed thereafter made me what I am today. So I call myself a practical engineer because I've been out there. I've taken spanners and taken the top off my fingers and things like that. The usual good stuff that we all do. I think the problem is that a lot of our graduates, as well as a lot of our operators, don't want to get that involved in the process. And that goes to the maintenance teams as well. You know, there was a case recently of a maintenance issue, and the maintenance engineer was working from home. Now, I don't know how that works, but that's the sort of thing we're facing today. But if we can actually instill in people the desire to be practical and go through an apprenticeship type program that's got an academic side to it and come out at the end of the day with some form of certification, whether it's a diploma, whether it's a higher national diploma or a degree, that's the way we have to go. We have to stop thinking that everything is book learning. You know, I don't want to see an engineer applying for a job with me who the last question he had at university was derived from first principles. That means nothing in my world. I'm going to get clobbered by a lot of my academic friends for saying that, but that's the thing. We need to instill in people the practical approach to engineering, and it can be done from an experiential point of view, but through a virtual reality environment, through working with AI. But you've got to be careful with AI as well. AI is only as good as what it's got available to teach it. So if it's a process-specific AI, ChatGPT sitting miles away will not give you what you need. You need to bring it in-house. You need to train the AI in your environment, and you need to link it up to some of the things that are coming out today where AI will replace control systems eventually. Once we get some of the conservatives out of the industry. But that's what's going to happen. And I think I'm actually quite excited for what the future is going to hold. But I'll be perfectly honest, it's not holding it for my kids in their 20s and 30s. It's holding it for my grandkids who are in single digits, shall we say. We've got a long way to go, but I'm amazed at how quickly we're going, and I would like to be surprised to see that I'll be told that it's wrong, that things will go much quicker.